Hello everybody, my name is Lennart Jörgens and I'm a senior software engineer here at Gatsby. Today I want to talk about how you can be the next open source champion with Gatsby. I want to start this talk with a question for you. What makes a good open source project? Please put your suggestions into the chat, or if you're watching this later, into the comments. Think about the interactions and touch points you can have with a project. What types of things do you really like, and what things make a project good? I put a couple of things here on my slides. Examples, documentation, blog posts. I would say those fall into the bucket of examples you can learn from. Then the next bucket I would say is getting help when you really need it. So a Discord server, an active GitHub repository with GitHub discussions, and the community integration itself is a really powerful tool for you to enjoy your project, in my mind. Lastly, here I have the iteration speed and features. As a maintainer myself, I can say there will always be an abundance of feature requests, and finding the right balance between, on the one side, the feature requests from the people, and on the other side, the things you want to do with the project itself, is really hard. And really the first two buckets are oftentimes made with the help of the open source contributor base itself. And that's why I think those people are open source champions. They make a project so much better by contributing all those things. However, I want to already point out here that you don't have to contribute to open source because it's a privilege that you can do that. So when I say all these things here, please don't feel pressured that you have to do this. But I think if you have the time for it, certainly do it, because it will teach you so much more. A question I often get asked is, hey, where should I begin? And as often in software development, the answer is, it depends. It depends on your prior knowledge of what you want to achieve, what you want to do in your free time, really, because oftentimes it is in your free time. And of course, you should choose that wisely, what you do there. I think you can choose your own path. All the things I mentioned are entry points to a project where you can help. And even with prior knowledge, you can put up an issue with a really good reproduction, and I can certainly say we always appreciate it. If you look at the graph here, you will also see, hey, there's no straight line to this open source champion goal. You can diverge the path, you can try different things, and through the course of that, you should learn things. And you should, of course, have fun doing that. Generally speaking, there are things you can always look out for. It's a contributing section or a contributing markdown file inside the repository. You can look out for GitHub discussions or Discord places where you can actively ask for help in contributing. Labels like good first issue or help wanted on issues indicate that, hey, here we can use your help. Another thing as a maintainer I would say is really valuable to us is if we ask for feedback on new features or canaries. We really enjoy when people use it and then oftentimes break stuff. But that's good, because then we can, before we ship it to production, iron out those bugs. A lot of things I mentioned here are probably somewhat familiar with you, One thing I want to introduce here too is open source projects can be in different states. And I first read that last year in the Working in Public book by Nadia Ekbal, and it really resonated with me. Projects can be in different states. They can be different federations, they can be clubs, stadiums, and toys. And they differentiate themselves by the amount of contributors versus users, and thus have different outcomes when you do certain actions like contributing to it. In federations, there will be governance models, processes, hierarchies, and whatnot. Clubs are like hobby groups or meetups. Stadiums have a really small portion of contributors, but a high user base. And then toys, I would say, are personal projects. And depending on that, your experience in contributing might vary. And having this in the back of your mind is a good thing to do. I would say the answer to where should I begin is find your own path and support the projects you love in a way that also benefits you, so that it's a two-way street. The project will benefit from your contribution, but you should also benefit. If you're totally new to GitHub or Git itself, the Hacktoberfest page I linked down there has some really good instructions on how to get started. After going through the fundamentals here, I would now want to explain how you can contribute to Gatsby, because really the same principles apply also to Gatsby. However, we realized that Gatsby's project type changed over time. We moved from a club to a stadium. And that's not necessarily a bad thing. Those things happen. But we as a project have to evolve with it, because the project type will evolve and you have to evolve with it. Otherwise, people that want to contribute will have a bad experience. So here are our plans for 2022. We already put up a new starter submission form that you can find on our website already, and it will be evaluated and updated every month. We ask you to submit a starter that is on the latest major version of Gatsby, follow some best practices around accessibility and performance, and also builds on Gatsby Cloud. This way we can ensure that everyone that tries out these starters has the best experience with the latest and greatest of Gatsby. We will also be updating the RFC, which is short for Request for Comment process. We used this in the past a couple of times already, for example for the Gatsby plugin image feature, and now this year with the trailing slash and TypeScript work. But we really want to do this for every new major feature. We want to get your input on the API surface, on the features. Then we ship, for example, a proof of concept, get your feedback, and then iteratively improve this until we ship it to production. When you want to put up an RFC, there will be a template that you can use so that it all has a bit more structure. And the end goal here is that you will be able to participate more in the development and testing of new features. There will also be a new governance model. It should define on how you can contribute, where you can contribute, and in which way you will be recognized. Because we realized that, probably not everyone can contribute to the core of Gatsby. It's a really complicated piece and there needs to be a lot of context around things. Training people to contributing to the core takes time. So For all the people with varying experiences and knowledge, we want to guide them to places where they can effectively contribute. While we always send out an email for merge pull requests where you then can get a t-shirt like this, we also recognize that, hey, people are also helping on other places, not only pull requests, they're helping in Discord, on Stack Overflow, in GitHub discussions. And the new governance model should reflect that, and also those people should be recognized. Then we will also work more closely with the Gatsby user collective. Alex Moon will have a talk about that at GatsbyConf, where you can learn more about it. All in all, it should be easier and more fun for you to contribute to Gatsby. And then there's our Discord server. We already have that one for 2 or 3 years now, and it's time for a bit of spring cleaning. We will be restructuring the channel list, let the bots or robots do the busy work, and this is certainly inspired by the Reactive Flux server here. Introduce a monthly Q&A, and we are now also actively looking for a mod team to reduce the buzz factor on us and incorporate more the community into decisions. So please, if you're interested in, come and join our mod team. You see the URL there where you can apply. All these things really should enable more contributions. That's our goal here. We haven't done the best job of merging PRs in the past or attending to every issue, but internally we restructured our priorities a little bit, and with that our goal is that we regularly check in on issues and PRs, that we clean up our backlog, and then that we give more information so that people can self-serve fixes or features they want to have. As a summary, our focus for 2022 will be starters, a new RFC process, an updated governance model, some sprint cleaning for the Discord server, and more activity from us on GitHub. My ask here really is, please give feedback on the new governance model. It's still a work in progress. Visit our Discord server, and then if you're interested, also apply to the mod team. And if you have a project that you want to share with the community, submit it as a starter. And that's really it. Thank you for listening to my talk, and enjoy the rest of GatsbyConf, and see you. Bye bye.
Don't miss the live Q&A coming up now.